Just hold it. Mr. National Commissioner, what is his name? National Commissioner. National Members, attention. Everybody please stand up while the minister is coming in. Morning, morning. The national anthem. Yes. Minister, this is yours. Good morning, everyone. Please remain standing while the national anthem is going to be played by the band. Thank you.
Let's go.
At ease, everyone may be seated. Thank you. Greetings to the Minister of Police, General Peggy Kaile, Deputy Minister of Police, Mr. Matale, Deputy National Commissioner, Mr. Masemula, Divisional Commissioner, the Provincial Commissioner of Western Cape, Lieutenant General Patekile. I'll greet you all. My name is Sergeant Langa. Together with Sergeant Vogt, will be your program directors. I also greet our councillor that is with us, Mr. Danny Christians. Moving forward with our program, I am now going to call Reverend H. Fortain to do the scripture reading and prayer. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Program Director. General or protocol observed. A reading from Psalm 10. It is a prayer for justice. It is a prayer for today. Why are you so far, O Lord? Why do you hide yourself when we are in trouble? The wicked are proud and persecute the poor. Catch them in the traps they have made. The wicked are proud of their evil desires. The greedy curse and reject the Lord. The wicked do not care about the Lord. In their pride, they think God doesn't matter. The wicked succeed in everything. They cannot understand God's judgments. They sneer at their enemies. They say to themselves, we will never fail. We will never be in trouble. Their speech is filled with curses, lies, and threats. They are quick to speak hateful, evil words. They hide themselves in the villages, waiting to murder innocent people. They spy on their helpless victims. They wait in their hiding place like lions. They lie in wait for the poor. They catch them in their traps and drag them away. The helpless victims lie crushed, brute strength, and defeated them. The wicked say to themselves, God doesn't care. He has closed his eyes and will never see me. O Lord, punish those wicked people. Remember those who are suffering. How can the wicked despise God and say to themselves, He will not punish me? But you do see. You take notice of trouble and suffering and are always ready to help. The helpless commit themselves to you. You have always helped the needy. Break the power of wicked and evil people. Punish them for the wrong they have done until they do it no more. The Lord is king forever. Those who worship other gods will vanish from his hand. You listen, O Lord, to the prayers of the lowly. You will give them courage. You will hear the cries of the oppressed and the orphans. You will judge in their favor, so that mortal man may cause terror no more. The Lord bless the reading of his word, and to his name all the praise and the honor. Come, let us pray. Lord, as the psalmist reflected on the struggles of the poor, the helpless, so we have reflected this morning on our own afflictions that we endure daily at the hand of criminals. But thank you for the assurance that you do see and that you are able to turn this around. And so as we are meeting here as community and police and the ministry, we pray that we commit ourselves, all our efforts into you, and we pray that indeed that you will listen, that you will come to us, and that you bring healing and peace. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Fortain. Moving along with the program, I now call our ward councillor of Ward 78 and 79, Mr. Danny Christians, to do and deliver a welcoming remark. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. It's a wonderful scene that I observe from where I am at this point. I must concur with the scripture reading that we have to overcome evil with good. Already this morning, I asked God that He provides for me the strength that I can place my meager hands into His almighty hands. And as the minister is sitting right behind me, which I would want to introduce later on, I want to tell the minister, since he is behind me, I can use his strength in his ministerial powers, that he can provide security opportunities, policing for our nation. And I want to say thank you now, Minister Becky Kelly, for that which he has done so far and will still do much more in the future. Mine is not to make a speech, but just to introduce a minister. I know you have seen him. You know, I told him this morning, I was so elated just to be in his presence. My spirit was uplifted. I felt so enlightened. Minister, you make our nation proud. And I would just want to ask Minister if you can raise and be next to me, Minister, so that everybody can see a wonderful minister, and give Minister a hand of applause. Thank you, Minister. Yeah, so we could speak a little bit of what he is providing the nation with. Very interesting is that he will always provide us with his support. So, Minister, though we might be wearing different colors, but you know, crime does not require color. Crime is crime. And I want to say thank you now and into the future, that the support that we will observe and receive from a national government through the structures that are here, that we hold dear to that. I also said to him, Minister, as you are taking the child by his hand, you take the nation by the soul. There is not enough thankfulness that we can express. And also with our minister, it's our deputy minister, Mr. Mathali, which is just behind me also. I'm also using him as a footstool. Would you please stand, Deputy Minister? If you haven't seen our Deputy Minister from Police, this is Minister Mathali. Very much. Thank you very much. Give him a hand, please. And then we also have our Deputy National Commissioner, General Masemola. General, hearty welcome. Welcome to Rocklands. Rocklands is where many things happen. And I just need to tell you that Rocklands is the only suburb with 2 monuments. When you look to seaward, you will see the Age Monument. When you look at the Rocklands Civic Centre, that is where the UDF Memorial immortalized the beginning of a powerful political struggle that occurred at Rocklands Civic. So with that, I want to welcome every structure throughout our province, our nation, that could have made their abode here, our neighborhood structures, our CPFs, our block watches, every service that you provide, that it has its purpose in life. And I cannot name everybody, but I carry you through this word that you are remembered. And I want to thank you for all that which you have been doing in our community and still will be doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ward Councillor Christians, for your words. I just want to welcome Mr. Mavata of State Security. We welcome you here in Rocklands. I call on, at this stage, the Deputy National Commissioner of the South African Police Service, Lieutenant General S.F. Masimola, to outline the purpose of today's event.
Thank you, Program Director, or Program Directors. Ladies and gentlemen, let me take the opportunity to recognize the presence of the Minister of Police, General Kele, the Deputy Minister of Police, Tate Matale, the Ward Councillor of the place where we are, Mr. Christians, the Provincial Commissioner of Western Cape, General Pategile, representatives from national. We do have the head of the Civilian Secretariat for Police, Mr. Rapia, the divisions that are represented here, Division Vispol by both Major General Konazi and Daba, and General Mahale from the detectives, the community policing structures, including their chairperson, the union representative that are present here today, the provincial joints that are presented here today from all departments that are here. And of course, General Patekile, all your deputy provincial commissioners, including your junior provincial commissioner and the junior deputy provincial commissioner. And let me say the protocol observed so that I don't leave anybody else outside. And most importantly, the residents of Mitchell's Plain, we are here today. Let me greet you and say good morning. Yeah, still good morning. Goeiemorgen. Sanmonang. It is a special honor for me to address you today to say why we are here. What is the reason why we are all here today? The Minister of Police, General Kele, chose to come to this Rockland Sports Ground in Mitchell's Plain today to come and engage you as the community and to listen to you in terms of policing matters. And we regularly go across the country meeting the community as one of our objectives at the South African Police Service is to engage with communities, is to work in collaboration and partnership with our society. We do not want to hear from other people what concerns you. We want to come to you straight and listen what are the problems and where can we assist. But at the same time, we welcome from the community where police are doing good. We also welcome that you identify what is it that we are doing best, which we can increase more. And of course, where we are not doing well, don't be ashamed to say it. Say it as it is, so that we can improve in terms of servicing you. Because we are not doing you a favor. It is an obligation that in terms of the Constitution of the Republic, we are obligated to serve you. We are for you in terms of human bodies and vehicles. And communities and community structures should also understand that us, as the South African Police Services and you, we are both obligated to work together. And we have a structure called Community Police Forums. At the provincial, we have provincial board, and we also have lower level district or cluster boards, which we need to work and affiliate. And all structures that are working with us as police, you do not need to compete because we have one structure, Community Police Forum structures. And everybody must affiliate to that specific structure so that we can be able to engage with the communities. That's the official structure in terms of law, which you can engage with the South African Police Service. We also take note that communities are affected not only by crime. As we know, there is a problem of gang crime, but as His Excellency the President indicated that there is a second pandemic in the country that we are dealing with, which is gender-based violence. And in a prior briefing, the station commander indicated that one of the causes of crime in this area is your gender-based violence. And again, we will call communities to come out and assist, and also police to go out and make sure that wherever there is a problem of gender-based violence, they are there to assist the community. It's unfortunate that Mitchell's Plain, as a policing area, features in the top 30 policing precinct that are top 30 gender-based violence stations in the country. Orange Farm is number 1, and you are also included in the top 30. It is not an honor to be in the top 30. It's an honor to be outside. But if you are in, it means we need to change our attitude and behavior and make sure that we live with our spouses and children very well. I make a plea then to men, because mostly it is men that cause gender-based violence, that let's change and not be part of the top 30. With those words, let me take the opportunity to say this is the reason why we are here. The minister and the deputy minister are going to engage with you, and the rest of us will answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, General. I now call on the chairperson of the Mitchells Plain CPF, Mr. Norman Yankees, to deliver a message of support.
Good morning, everybody. I think I must acknowledge the various structures that's here, the sub-forums, the neighborhood watch, the block committees, and I think there's also CPFs from the neighboring areas. So I welcome you in supporting us today in highlighting some of the issues that we are facing in Mitchells Plain. I also want to acknowledge some comrades and friends that's sitting in the audience today. You are here because you care. You care about the safety and the well-being of Mitchells Plain. So only if we work together, we're going to make a difference in the crime levels in Mitchells Plain. Also a special welcome to the Minister and his entourage. And I would just say all protocol observed instead of mentioning all the names. There's also some councillors I see, so special welcome to you as well. Because you cannot say you're a councillor for the people if you're not cared about the safety of the people. So thank you guys for supporting us here today. Just a couple of short messages. The one is to SAPS. We are still under-resourced in Mitchells Plain. We need more vehicles. We need more. We need a gang unit because gangsterism is our biggest problem in Mitchells Plain. We also need a special focus on drugs, because many of our murders is related to drugs, the supply of drugs. So we need to have a special intervention, and it's not just SAPS, it's also the other government departments that's got a responsibility. In terms of the MEC for community safety, they're not here today. I don't think they care enough about Mitchells Plain. Since we're here, they've never met with us. We've written many letters to the community safety department. Never once did they even acknowledge our letter. So we want to appeal to the minister, our minister here, to approach his partners in provincial government so that they can care for the community of Mitchells Plain. We don't just want to see them when there's a murder and they go around and they take photos. We want them to really care and commit to Mitchells Plain safety. Also with regard to the city we've also submitted memorandum to, and they never wanted to meet with us. JP in particular, he refused to meet with us. We want to talk about cameras. We want to talk about number plate detectors. We want to talk about other stuff in Mitchells Plain. But up to date, he refused to meet with us. So I want you to remember these things when you go to the elections. I also want to, the sub-forums, I want to ask you to continue the good work that you're doing. The neighborhood watches, the block committees. I want to appeal to you to start working together. There's no way that we can fight one another, block committees versus neighborhood watches, and at the end of the day, the community is suffering. So I want to appeal all of you that's still refusing to hold hands. Think about it. Think about what you're doing. And think about how we can hold hands to make Mitchells Plain a safer area. Just in terms of the community at large, you cannot just be an observer when things happen around you. You need to become an activist, a safety activist. So if you're not part of a safety structure, I want to appeal to you. Join your neighborhood watch. Join your block committee. Join your sub-forum. Make sure that your councillor, when they get the ward allocation, that they give at least 20% of their budget towards safety structures. Make sure when there's a ward committee to be formed, in each ward there's supposed to be a ward committee. Make sure that 2 of those 10 people must come from safety structures. So guys, don't look at the elections as something separate. The elections is about your life, your living, your conditions. It's about water, but it's also about safety. So thanks very much, Minister, for sharing the day with us. And we trust that the community will use the opportunity to engage you in a constructive manner. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yankees. At this time, I just would like to also welcome, there is magistrates and prosecutors and the NPAs at the back there. We want to welcome you as well. At this stage, we are going to continue with the community engagement, where the community, you will be able to pose questions to the panel and to the minister. Before we start, we're just going to take a 1-minute break. We're just waiting on the minister. Yes, band, I forgot about you. You can play a song for us in this time that we're waiting for the minister. Thank you, SAPS band. Just a request from the sound team. We are going to call on, this is a time where the community, you can pose questions, but we would like you to move forward. Just here to my right, your left, because of the wind that is a bit hectic today. So we would like you to be in front here if you want to pose a question. You can also make a statement. If you don't have a question, you are allowed, but please just identify yourself and just tell us where you are coming from. Ushers will be here to my right. There will be 2 mics here in front, so if you have a question, you are allowed. Just raise your hand and then I'll identify you and then you can come forward. So please just identify yourself and then where you're coming from, and then you can either make a remark or pose your question.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Veronique Williams. They call me Benji. My question goes to Minister Beckett. Really, I've been a reservist in the South African Police for 18 years. I've been serving my community for 25 years. We've been dismissed illegally. Up until today, no one came forward to say anything. I've been sending emails every second week to head office, national head office. The second question to you, Minister, is I'm a member, a ground team leader member as a pink lady, missing person. The need out there for missing persons is I resigned from Pink Ladies. I've currently got my own organization, Fight and Help Missing Persons. Really, we really need you guys to come on the ground, come and help us and search when there is a child missing. I also need to ask you, Minister, to open your own missing person unit because there's a big need, especially when it comes to Mitchell's Plain. Our statistic rate is very high when it comes to missing persons. I understand our resources, when it comes to resources, our police officers, they got their own works, jobs to do. They have to fight crime. No, the detectives have to do their dockets. No, but there is other, you can use your reservists to do the missing persons. You can make that reservists that is for 10 years, 15 years, you can make them permanent. This is strictly to you, Minister Beckett. With all due respect, please, I ask you today, out of my heart, Minister, that you please have to take note of these questions that I'm asking you. Our children outside, they need us here. And I really want you, sometimes when there is a child missing, you need to come out, to come and see what we are doing on the ground here. There's a lot of work on the ground here when we're busy with a missing person. Because that police officer, though they don't have the extra time or the extra mile because there's other dockets that they need to attend to. I will go that extra mile to find the child because that is my work to do. That is my passion, Minister Beckett. Thank you.
Yeah, the next person, you can come forward. The gentleman over there. Yeah, I see your hand.
Okay, morning everybody. My name is Desmond Scullard. I'm a Rocklands resident for the last 40 years. And I appreciate the opportunity that has been afforded to us here this morning. Because over the years I've witnessed many changes in Rocklands, in South Africa. But I think what is happening now and what is being discussed today is our children and grandchildren's future. The safety of it. First and foremost, I want to thank our Rocklands Neighborhood Watch. Thank you for your efforts during the night when we call you, because when you call 10111, there's an answering machine that you must deal with. There's no police that you're dealing with. I'm being honest. And what Jansi said this morning, I respect that. But the people who should listen to us are not here this morning. When you talk about the budget, they are not here so that we could hear what budget is being declared for Rocklands here. I don't know if this is going to get any better. Our children and our grandchildren has been born for a time like this to deal with this evil. Gender-based violence is evil. That's what it's called. And like I say, when it was mentioned that men is the cause of it, I can put my hand on my own chest as a man. I'm disappointed that we have something like that. Fancy words. but it's evil. That's what we're calling it. So the future ahead from here, it is in the minister and all those other delegates in their hands to see if there's going to be a future for our children and grandchildren. But once again, to our neighborhood watchers, to our men in blue, the ladies as well, I appreciate your servanthood, your stewardship that has been afforded to us over this time. It's not going to get better unless we take a position from what is being said here today. People are hurt, they are broken, not just pandemic that we have, but the evil around us, where you must get up at night. 2 weekends, me and my wife never had any sleep, that we've been living here for 40 years. It is getting worse, brethren. Loved ones, it's getting worse. The drugs, I saw it with my own eyes, how these packets are being exchanged, the marijuana, the beer that's being sold, and then they tell us, no, they're only having a party. I am hurt as I'm standing here. As a grandfather of 7 grandchildren, I do not know their future in this country. But my prayer is that God will take our weak hands into His strong hand and lead us, because even in Ephesians 5 it says, do not be involved with the fellowship of darkness, but rather expose it. And I'm asking my community to expose the evil that's around us. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Just before we continue, just call upon, if the minister would allow me, to call on Mr. Regan Allen. He's the chairperson, I presume it's the CPF of the police. The chairperson of the police, Mr. Regan Allen, and also the provincial head of the DPP's office. If you can make your way to the podium, please, to join the entourage. Okay, we can continue. Anyone with a question? If I can see your hand. Yes, ma'am, you can.
Where do we go, sir?
Up here, sir.
Good morning. My name is Melanie Matisse. I'm from Beacon Valley. My question goes to the minister. We still have police officers that comes out in the community without any identification. And from my knowledge, I know that is supposed to be a dismissal offense. Okay, and then also, what are we supposed to do when it comes to police officers that is hitting our people? I mean, we don't say the crime and the stuff is right that they are doing, but nobody's above the law. So my question, my plea today is to the minister to please work on that. Thank you.
I say thank you.
Greetings to all the SAPS members, the ministers in general. We thank you for what you're doing here today. However, I've come to say today that what you are doing is good, but it is not enough. Our children, our women in our areas are still being killed and murdered and shot. However, we want to thank our sector, our precinct, Mitchells Plain Police, for what they are doing for us as a community, with the vehicles that is too little, with the resources that they have that is not enough to fulfill their duty and get better. I heard the one general said that they're in the list of 30 of the gender-based violence crimes. Well, that's good. But the other thing is, I believe also that they're in the top 10 of the best police stations that is run in South Africa. So this morning, the one thing that is heavily on my heart, I'm from Tafelsig. My name is Vernon Fortune, from the Hyde Park Neighborhood Watch sector. And that is that, General, we've been waiting for 10 years for a police station in Tafelsig, so that our people in Tafelsig don't need to walk 5 kilometers, take a taxi there and take a taxi back. That costs them 10 rand up and 10 rand down, and to lay a charge, and they don't even have food in their homes. We want to say thank you to our special gentleman, Brigadier Gulam, for what he has done for us in Mitchells Plain. How he has made the crime come down with the little resources that we have. The other thing I want to ask is that they please extend this contract with at least another 10 years. One of the other things that is also that I want to raise is that Mitchell's Plain has got so many people, but we don't have enough vehicles. We've got 3 sector commanders using 1 van. So if there's a crime in one sector and another crime happens in another sector, we first have to wait for that sector commander to get done with that crime in the one sector before he can respond or assist us in the other sectors. So the vehicles, there needs to be more sent and given to us in Mitchell's Plain. And then the provincial government has failed us as a neighborhood watch and as a safety structure. Today we want to ask the national government, how can they assist us so that we can even be better at doing what we are doing with our partnership with the police? Thank you.
Thank you. If I can just make an apology for Mr. Regan Allen, I pronounce it in his wrong capacity. He's the provincial chairperson of police in the provincial legislature, responsible for policing. We just call on you, sir, if you can make your way to the podium. Easier. Thank you, sir. And then from the minister also, my apology. If there's anybody from IPID, the head of IPID, if you are here, can you kindly make your way to the front as well? Thank you, sir. We can continue.
Good morning to the leadership on the stage, Minister and his entourage. Also, a very good morning to the community of Rocklands in Mitchell's Plain. And I want to say my name is Francina Lucas. I'm the chairperson of the CPF in the province. I think today the real VIPs and the most important people here today is the volunteers that patrol our street day and night to ensure the safety of our communities. They work very hard. They are sometimes not being recognized. They don't get a thank you many a times. And they work with the police to keep our communities safe. So today I'm saying, I salute you. Mine today is just to make a statement. We speak about community policing, and we say the community must work with the police. And in some areas, that is just lip service that is being done. What we face in this province is a crisis where we have a SAPS provincial management that does not want to recognize the community leadership. Minister, I spoke to the Portfolio Committee of Police. I wrote numerous letters with cluster chairpersons because our PC has decided there is no more clusters. And I'm saying, how can you leave that vacuum in a province where we have GBV, gangsterism, drugs, all these crimes? Why are we not taking the hands of our community leadership? If you look at the attendance here today, it could have been much, much more better if we work with our communities. So my plea today is, let's put differences, arrogance, whatever we have that put that obstacle in front of us of not working together. Let's put that aside and we think about the safety of our communities first. I thank you.
Thank you. We'll take another question.
Okay. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Reverend Franklin Williams. I applaud the person that has just said that we should give honor and we should thank all of you that is standing on the ground, working hard in the middle of the night trying to keep our city safe. My biggest problem is if any one of you get hurt or get killed, there's no cover for you. I want to ask government to have a policy to cover our workers in terms of them getting hurt or getting killed. If any one of these people get killed, all they're going to say, well done. She was, or he was, a very good servant. Mr. Minister, I ask you, please, sir, if you can discuss this with your department or with your government to see if there's a policy that can cover our people that's working hard to keep our city safe. The Lord bless you.
Thank you, sir. We'll have the next person.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Deborah Bailey, and I am resident of Rocklands for over 40 years. Also, currently candidate for the upcoming elections. Minister, I have a concern. I'm living here for 40 years, and so far the drug dens, the drug dealers have been operating for probably over 40 years. I'm not going to ask what is being done because everybody in this arena knows exactly where they are. But it's affecting our families, it's affecting our communities. These drug dealers, the children are dropouts. They are our future leaders. We cannot ignore that. Those young people, and mostly the men, and that also leads to the gender-based violence. They use the poverty situations where women in communities in the streets, where the women cover up, the families cover up for these drug dealers because they pay their rent, they put a bread on their table, they prostitute their children, their girls. The boys go into the gangs, and even the babies are being sold for drugs. Now my plea is, Minister, what are being done? Neighborhood watches, street committees, block committees have been marching. I have decided I'm not marching into the drug dealers. Nothing is being done since the time that I have marched, and so many others. And that is an evil in our community. It affects everybody. So I want a stance to be taken to save those people, to save our young people, to save our women, our girl child from being prostituted and raped, and to zoom into those drug dealers. I thank you.
Next person.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Lynn Phillips. I'm an activist in Mitchells Plain, specifically from the Cape Flats Safety Forum. Minister, my heart is broken as I'm standing here. And I want you to be very clear today for me, please, Minister. I want to know what governs CPFs in the Western Cape. And I'm asking this specifically. I understand that the CPF is in the country's constitution, in the SAPS Act, but in the Western Cape, Minister, there is a Community Safety Act that governs CPFs. My understanding of the Department of Community Safety, and I want to raise it here, are dividing our communities based on a carrot, which is jackets, which is tools that they're giving. My understanding, Minister, since 2002, me personally built street and block committees. My understanding for SAPS and crime in general, that you need every community member, that you need every stakeholder. Why is it in Mitchells Plain and at the Department of Community Safety that they don't acknowledge our street and our block committees? They have a developmental agenda. The chairperson are saying that we are divided. They have divided this community of Mitchells Plain. You can ask the previous minister, Charles Nakula, when he came to Mitchells Plain, the first stop was at the street and block committees because they understand their communities. Why are neighborhood watchers the only ones accepted by the Department of Community Safety? Minister, we are humbly pleading to you today. Roll out your community in blue. You will see the streets will be filled in Mitchells Plain of those that are not being recognized by SAPS, by the Department of Community Safety and the city, because the city has the walking paths. They don't recognize street and block committees. The same with the dogs recognize only neighborhood watchers. They don't recognize those crime fighters that are 4 o'clock on the road to ensure that their community is safe, walking people to bus stops late at night. Why are SAPS not acknowledging them? I want to say at Mitchell's Plain, SAPS don't acknowledge our street and block committees. They are being told by politicians not to accept us. Now I want to know, why is that so? The other question I have, Minister, if you serve on a legislative structure and you are on the IEC list as a candidate, why are you still serving? Are you not supposed to step down? This is what is happening here in Mitchell's Plain, and I want to raise it because there is certain of your SAPS members that is pushing a political agenda when they're supposed to be apolitical. Thank you.
Thank you. Just before we continue, I know that there is some community members that might not want to come forward. To my right, to your left, the Provincial Inspectorate is over there. You'll see a table. Colonel De Wet is there. If you want to lodge a complaint, you are more than welcome to go over that side. Eh? Thank you. Next speaker.
Hi, good morning. My name is Nasli Dirks from Tafelsig. I am here to advocate the rights of a 15-year-old child that the justice system has failed for the second time around. My daughter, when she was 18 months old, was physically assaulted. Sadly, our justice system, the perpetrators walking the streets. Last year, on the 1st of November exactly, my daughter was physically assaulted again. To date, absolutely nothing has come from the case. More so, I've tried to be proactive. I've even escalated it to the Ombudsman of SAPS. Nothing has happened. A couple of months ago, I was sent a closure letter by the Ombudsman of SAPS to substantiate there was no investigation work done on this case. How? It was sent to the PC's office. I had escalated, sent an email again. A couple of months ago, the letter wasn't even acknowledged. 2 days ago, early on in this week, I went back to the Ombudsman and I said, you had sent me this letter substantiating my case. Where do we go from here? And I was told, you know what, ma'am? I think you should go back to Mitchell's Plain SAPS. Why did I even escalate it to this level? And why I'm saying this, it gets told to us with all due respect, the rights of our children is being advocated. Our rights aren't being advocated, more so of our kids. I've got a 15-year-old daughter who's been scarred psychologically. She's developed PTSD, anxiety, depression. What more do I do? We are living in such a cruel world. And then, sadly, we get treated as if SAPS is doing us a favor. With all due respect, there is only one Brigadier Gulam. He can't fight this battle alone. To the point where someone has been trespassing our property. We are home with myself and my 3 daughters, my 70-year-old father. Over the weekend, I called SAPS. The police officer came. He said to me, you know what, ma'am? Our stats for arrest is low. So you know what? It's actually great. I'm going to go look out for the perpetrator. Where on earth does your stats in terms of where you're at define you doing your job? Because your stats is low now, all of a sudden, you must actually do your work for a change. We are being treated in Mitchell's Plain as if the police service is doing us a favor. In closure, I would like to say, this morning the very same perpetrator came to our home. Yes, SAPS had come to the fore. You know what, Minister, it's sad. The harsh reality is, you look at statistics on black and white, come to grassroots level, see what we faced with. This morning, the 2 officers come. The one officer had the decency to greet me. And I had so much admiration for this man, because the second officer refused to greet me, but I overlooked it. And then I took them to the area where this perpetrator's been coming in. Yes, they had said we must get cameras. And my question was, yes, we can get cameras, but there's a root of the problem. Who is taking note of the root of the problem? Once again, there is only one Brigadier Gulam. If he doesn't get the level of support, where? Then anyway, I came back and I said to this officer, the not so friendly one, do you know, I'm going to escalate this to your station commander. The harsh reality of where we're living, if an officer can't have a level of honor and respect for his station commander, it speaks a lot about it, because that is where the bad apples start. I said to him, can I tell you something, sir? Let it be noted, you are not doing me a damn favor here. And he turned around and said, I said to him, you didn't even have the decency to greet me. You know what, Minister? Sadly, this police officer had said to me, I do not need to greet you. My partner greeted for the both of us, because this was his exact words. He said to me, in our culture, we don't have to greet. My partner does it for both. So you tell me, why must we as the people of Mitchell's Plain more so be treated with no dignity, no respect, as if they're doing us a flippant favor? And more so, who is advocating the rights of our children? The system has failed my daughter on 2 occasions. And life has just gone. I've been proactive. I've done my bit. But when is the fall? When is the system going to stand up and give us what is due to us? Because a 15-year-old child is traumatized psychologically. And guess what? Life goes on for the perpetrators, because we're living in a system where nothing happens. Our justice system looks out for the perpetrator. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We're just going to take 2 more questions, 2 more for the gentleman standing there.
Hey, my name is Gerald Brown, and I'm from the Mitchells Plain, unemployed resident and local building contractors, and I'm also the chairperson of the Mitchells Plain Residents Construction Trade Skills Center, NPC. I thank the police for doing a great job, but I want to ask the minister, please, it's time that we clean our house. Our own houses, we must clean our own houses, our family, we must be role models to our children, and then gangsterism won't take so much place. Then also we must try, I ask the minister, please, clean the house and the police stations where racism is still taking place. That's the one thing. Then also, Minister, I want to plead. Crime will always exist if our children doesn't get the opportunity to be trained as trade skills people within Mitchell's Plain. What I'm trying to say, I opened Mitchell's Plain 1976 as a pipe layer with Marion Stewart. And today I'm retired and I want to bring the skills back. Now, why must the child need matric to lay a trowel, to handle a trowel? Why must the child need matric to sweep a broom? Why must the child need matric to handle a trowel, just to work with his hands and bring the trade back to Mitchell's Plain? Because there's many developers, but now our people is lacking so much of skills. And what happened? Foreigner countries people come and take over the wealth of the people, and the people are deprived, our children are deprived, and all they can think of is the drug dealers giving them the better opportunity. Now, Minister, I want to appeal to you. I've so long I want to train about 1,000 people just for a year or so to become bricklayers, just semi-skilled bricklayers, to partake in developments to get their own money. But you know what? I apply for land, nothing. But what if I now take the land, the police will take me? All I want to do is to train people, doing a some year, but the police will take me if I take the land. But I want to say, Minister, please inform the police. If they see us doing something good on that ground that is undeveloped, that is laying still the public open spaces, leave them and require what we are doing, because now we are fed up. We are fed up because our children is getting more and more in crime. They are not accepted at any institution because they cannot hardly read or write. They are school dropouts, but at the end of the day, all they do, now they get involved in crime. But I'm assuring you, Minister, if you want crime less, job creation and training as such will be the best thing to do. We work every day with crime people, and you know what? All they say to you, they cannot otherwise, because that is only living. But give them something to catch a fish, and then you will see how they will perform. If you give a guy to train as a bricklayer, not just for papers, but to train. In 30 days, he will know how to lay a brick. In 30 days, he know how to handle a hammer. Give him that, and he will be part of developments within Mitchell's Plain, and you can see Mitchell's Plain crime will drop, because you can see it, and it's proven, because every day, I'm a local businessman myself here. I'm giving over 60 to 70 people work per day, and it's all like gangsterism. But you know how to handle the people, and that's what I want to ask, Minister. Please inform also the police. If these people come, don't handle them as criminals. See them as human beings. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Goeiemôre, meneer die minister. Ek praat Afrikaans, want ons land mag jy 11 tale praat. Daarom praat ek vandag Afrikaans. Meneer die minister, ek dink ons het in die Weskaap het ons 'n probleem wat moet opgelos word. My probleem is dit, wanneer jy na 'n polisiestasie toe gaan en jy wil 'n klag lê, dan is daar nie diegene wat die taal kan praat wat jy wil praat nie. En hierdie is 'n groot probleem. Want ek dink u moet 'n vereiste stel wanneer jy 'n polisieman bekom of 'n vrou, dan moet jy 3-talig kan praat in die Weskaap. Want ons taal hier in Weskaap is Afrikaans. Dan is dit Engels en dan is dit Khoisa, dan kan ons Zulu praat. Maar ek dink dat u moet tog asseblief in ag neem met elke provinsie waar daar die meeste mense is wat 'n taal praat, dan moet daar mense kan aangestel word wat verskillende tale kan praat. Want ons het 'n probleem in die Weskaap, waar jy oral ook gaan. Kom jy in Pylons, dan is daar 'n probleem. Die mense kan nie Afrikaans praat nie. Kom jy in Belha, dan kan die mense nie Afrikaans praat nie. So ek dink tog asseblief, meneer die minister, dat u het 'n groot verantwoordelikheid. En ek dink as ons mense saam kan werk en samewerking met die polisie, dan moet ons daar die mense bemagtig om ons taal te kan praat. Meneer die minister, ek vra dit vanoggend en ek noem dit as 'n pleidooi, dat u asseblief sal ag neem aan al die gesprekke of die oproepe wat vandag gemaak word hier, dat u asseblief die verantwoordelikheid sal neem en tog asseblief hierdie probleme sal oplos. Die Weskaap is in 'n penarie. Die Weskaap is in 'n penarie. U hoor dat die provinsiale regering, hulle wil nie saamwerk met ons nie, want dit is politiek wat gespeel word. En ek dink dit is tyd dat ons mense moet ophou politiek met ons mense hier op die grondvlak speel. Asseblief meneer die minister, want jy en ek, ons almal gaan staan voor God en ons gaan verantwoordelik wees wat ons hier gedoen op die aarde. Ons kan hier verbykom, ons kan hier wegkom, maar jy en ek, ons gaan voor God staan. En ons, elkeen wat 'n gemeenskap leier is, ons gaan verantwoordelik staan by God. Ons gaan mense belieg en besteel, maar by God sal dit nie regkom nie. So ek 'n beroep vandag, asseblief meneer die minister, doen. Jy is die verantwoordelike persoon. Die laaste persoon is jy. Die bak stop by u. So ek vra vandag asseblief, ons wil saam met u julle werk, maar as julle nie saam met ons werk nie, met wie moet ons dan saamwerk? Baie dankie meneer die minister. Oh, sorry. By the way, I'm from Bialha.
Thank you.
My name is Gerald Salyer. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Minister, just the gist of it, the community members saying that we must not be just bilingual, but multilingual. We must at least speak 3 languages, and especially with Afrikaans. This is a predominantly Afrikaans area. The gentleman mentioned Bialha and those areas, so he would like the members to be proficient in Afrikaans as well. Because there is some community members that go to the station and then they want to speak in Afrikaans. So for him, that is a concern. It's important also that we do speak Afrikaans, Minister. So we're going to have the second last question is going to be asked, if I'm correct. Okay. Yes, sir, you can continue.
Thank you. Good morning, Minister. My name is Ricardo Mackenzie. I'm the Member of Provincial Parliament here in Mitchells Plain. Thank you for being in Mitchells Plain this morning. I just want to first of all thank our neighborhood watchers and our walking bus members. Minister, throughout the pandemic and throughout the recent SA unrest of which you and the Deputy Minister are fully aware, the people that hog the streets of Mitchells Plain was these people. The walking bus neighbors and our neighborhood watchers woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning to keep Mitchells Plain safe, and that's part of the reason why we didn't have the looting and the unrest in the Western Cape. Because these people did the majority of their work in conjunction with the police. And I also want to thank the Mitchells Plain Police, Brigadier Gulam and Lentegier, because they were critical partners. They led that part. You know, it's easy for us to criticize the men in blue on the ground every day. But I have to say the reason the looting didn't happen in the Western Cape was because of Gulam and his team and the Hawking Bus and Neighborhood Watch members. And we need to acknowledge it for them. We need to give thanks where it's due. So thank you for that. I think the first point I wanted to raise, Minister, and I have to be honest with you, I'm very disappointed. I don't know how people briefed you. It's now 10 to 12. And the mosque is going to start soon, by the way, at 12:30, so our time is not very much. So this event was set up without our knowledge. I'm being honest with you. Minister Fritz is not here because we got this information last night. If these walking bus members and neighborhood watch members go back to their wards right now where they should be keeping our community safe, this event will be empty. That's the reality. And the reason why the people of Mitchells Plain are not here is because they didn't know about this event. So if we do have these events in the future, let's inform the community. It's a very important matter. Gangsterism in Mitchells Plain, as the other lady mentioned, child murders are serious issues here. And we do need to invite all the stakeholders. I WhatsApp JP. I said, JP, why are you not here? He said, Bro, I checked every email. I was not invited. So let's keep all our partners informed so that we can deal with the issue of gangsterism and crime, which is a scourge in our community. But we have to keep everybody informed so we all can be here and deal with these critical issues that are killing our communities. Thank you for being here, but let's get the communication right and invite people so the issues can be addressed with. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Hi, good day, everybody. My name is Jaden Gabriel. We are the children for the children. And today I want to ask the national government to help the block, street and neighborhood watchers with a permanent stipend because they are doing the work at SAPS too. And they are here for our community because they can work with our youth and young people in our community. Our SAPS cannot respect our children in the community. They abuse our people. I want to ask the national government to start a unit and let all young people join it. Because to keep them away from gangsterism, drugs, and crime. I thank you.
Thank you. That will be The last one is now the gentleman there.
Hello, Minister. My name is Ashton Dreyer. I'm a musician, a local artist, and I'm joined by the local neighborhood watch at Mitchells Plain, Tafelsig. This is what we require as neighborhood watch. As you know, we all wake up 4 o'clock, early mornings, even late at nights. But what we require is help from the government. As we all know, we all don't have the proper equipment as neighborhood watch that the police and minister and even the government itself doesn't want to give us. So what are we going to do in the mornings when we get hurt? We don't get paid. We don't get any money. We don't have any income. When we go even home, there's nothing to eat for the children. So is there anything, like he said now, a stipend for the neighborhood watch who's doing hard work every day and every night? Please help and support the neighborhood watch, because we are risking our lives to help the SAPS. So please help us so that we can help our communities, because how are we going to be future leaders if we don't help ourselves first? We need help so that we can help our community. So please look to us and please help the neighborhood watch with more equipment, more bulbs, more torches, so that we can look into the darkness and show them that we are the light. Thank you.
Yes, I'm going to... Thank you very much for all the questions. That was the last person to come up and raise a question. According to time, ma'am, I'm sorry. According to time, I am very sorry. According to time, we are running behind schedule.
Go to the desk.
There is a desk right at the back. Go and raise your concerns there, ma'am. Thank you very much. We're now going to call upon the response by the panel to answer the questions of the community at large. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Program Director. We will not engage in every person there on the panel. We think it will be appropriate that the minister himself must come and respond to the issues that the community have raised here. And without further ado, I will invite the minister to come and respond. As he comes, we will request all of you who are seated to rise as the minister comes to respond to the questions that have been raised. Can you please sanitize here quickly?
Thank you. Good luck. We may be seated. Molweni, good morning. Sanibonani. Ngizocela zonke ikhule ihleli la. I'll request everybody that is seated here who seems to be a VIP to come close to me. Starting with the Provincial Commissioner, Deputy National Commissioner. I'm told there is a head of the... All heads. Heads, come. All the things you raised here, you were saying to these people. Therefore, I want each of them to explain themselves, who are they? So that when I speak, I say, this what you said belongs to this one. Many questions came for the police. That's why we have both provincial and national. Patagil, come and explain yourself. Who are you?
Thank you, Minister. Thank you, Deputy Minister.
chairperson of the Portfolio Committee of Provincial Liaison Police, councillors present, and HODs. My name is Tembisile Patekile. I am the Provincial Commissioner of Western Cape. I'm responsible for policing in the province. Thank you, Minister.
Say few greetings, guys. Few greetings, come.
Thanks, Minister. I'm Lieutenant General Masemola. I'm a Deputy National Commissioner for Policing. Policing refers to any police that is wearing uniform. Police stations, attendants to complaints, dogs, any police that is wearing a uniform is my responsibility. Thank you, Mr.
Next.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Regan Allen. I serve as the chairperson for community safety in the Western Cape Provincial Parliament. Our mandate is very clear. We exercise oversight over the South African Police Service as well as the Department of Community Safety. And our aim is to foster valuable relationships. Earlier on, Member Ricardo McKenzie mentioned that certain stakeholders were not invited, and we would want to address that because it is key that we exercise oversight. Ek het opgegroei hier in Rocklands. School gegaan by Glendale. Minister, there's one particular house here in Rocklands. 3 generations.
Introduce yourself and I will speak. Huh?
Thank you. Baie dankie. Ek het al die minister ons al baie gepraat gedurende Zoom, but it is serious. We know the issues are there, but we want to play an active role in order to ensure that our communities remain safer. So thank you, Minister, for being here, and we will continue to exercise rigorous oversight. Baie dankie. Thank you.
Baie dankie.
Good afternoon. I don't hear you. Good afternoon. My name is Mulelo Mavata. I'm representing state security. We work very closely with SAPS on a number of issues. Thank you, Minister.
Goedemiddag. Mijn naam is Alvin Pumudzarapeya. I am the Secretary for Police Service. We are a civilian oversight over the police. We do partnership with communities. We look into your complaints, which you have raised, and a number of them that has been raised, we are going to follow up, especially that issue that was raised by the lady who said she's not getting support from the police. We'll follow that up. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Minister. Goeiemôre, goeiemiddag. My naam is Marius Briewer. Ek is die provinsiale bestuurder vir SIRA hier in die Weskaap en ek is hier om julle te dien in geval dat daar enige navraag is of enige probleme is by die private sekuriteitsindustrie en julle kan ons gerus kontak. Baie dankie.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Thabo Loholo, the provincial head of IPID, Independent Police Investigative Directorate in the Western Cape. Our mandate is to investigate all complaints in terms of the IPID Act where police members are involved. Our offices are in Belleville, telephone numbers 021-941-4800. You are at liberty, those complaints that have been raised here regarding the police, to report to us. We'll follow them up. Thank you.
Setmar. Oh, come, my girl. Introduce yourself.
Goeiedag, Molweni, how are you? My name is Angela Zingelwago. I am the Junior Provincial Commissioner. So I am here to stand for the youth. All my little matsis there. I see them everywhere. I'm here for you guys. Dankie.
Dankie. I take cognizance to say it's Friday, people have to go to the houses of worship. The people that were brought here are the people that will pursue the matters you raised. I want to start at the end from the member of the legislature or parliament as you spoke, including the chair here. The mandate of everybody that works for the South African government is that the communities are safe. That's a basic mandate. When you come and you talk about your mandate is the oversight, your mandate is to look that is a half mandate. The real mandate is that people must be safe. For that to happen, we must work together. I hear the question you raise. Indeed, I must, on behalf of the MEC, apologize for not inviting him. But I must say, we work very closely with the MEC, by the way. And unfortunately, most of the time when I come here and I invite people, they don't turn up. So, and I know who to write to now. I'll write to the chair of the portfolio committee to say your people are not turning up. Thank you. Because they don't turn up when they're invited. Now, I want to say it will be folly for all of us who work for government and get paid by yourselves, because we're all paid by your taxes, to spend more time fighting among and between ourselves instead of working together to reduce crime. That's what we need to do. We need to come here, hold hands, and stop scoring points, and stop making noise against others. All the noise that we must make, it must be the noise against ourselves. We have a problem in the country of crime. We have basically three provinces that give us crime in South Africa. That's Gauteng, KZN, and Western Cape. If we can work on these provinces and reduce crime there, South Africa can live better. Those provinces have a lot of criminals. So we have no luxury of making calls and making political noise. Our luxury here is to come together and stop dividing the country as if there are people that more care about people more than other people. I want to say, Western Cape is part of South Africa. Western Cape is South Africa. Therefore, the Constitution mandates and obligates all of us to work in Western Cape as you work in Limpopo, as you work in Northwest, as you work in KZN. There should be no difference when it comes to the safety of the South Africans. Therefore, it will be important that things you raise, especially things like divisions, we must come together and work on them. Things like not respecting the Constitution will have to come to an end. Community policing system in South Africa is legislated. It's in the Constitution of the land. So you can't choose and pick. You'll have to follow it. If you don't like it, you'll have to change the Constitution. So long as it's in the Constitution and the legislation, you will have to follow it. But here and now, you find out that there are these choices of people creating their own way instead of respecting the legislation and the law. Here in Western Cape, please, Chairperson, also respect the law. And the law says you will create these structures. When you create these structures, work with them all. I have raised it before. I have spoken to JP to say, if neighborhood watches get stapled in point A, they must also get stapled in point B. And that is not what is happening. This thing of dividing and rule the people must come to an end. Treat people of Western Cape the same. If you do have something little to give them all. If you don't have it, don't give anyone. That's what must happen. Let me check this. In terms of policing in South Africa, there are two provinces that are consuming biggest money. It's KZN and Western Cape. So it is folly, it is ingenious, Chairperson. We can sit down with you, and give you the figures and the input and the contribution that this department is making in this province. Maybe they don't tell you, and it's the first time I see you anyway, which means they don't bring you in meetings. There are two provinces that take money here. It's KZN for special teams we have put there to deal with the crime and the political killing. It's taking a lot of money on top of the budget of the province. But the next province that is even taking more money than KZN is Western Cape. Since 2018 in Western Cape, we have put extra numbers of police that come from other provinces, and we have put 200 of them almost since 1980. Since 2018, we have put more than 350 million on those operations for this province alone. As I speak, Upu Mashamba, Kenan Mashamba is not here. You see this canal? He comes from Limpopo. But almost for last 6 months, he stays literally here in this province. Every month, he commands 200 police that they don't stay here, that are brought from other provinces, and 58 more cars that are only for Western Cape and are brought from different provinces to work with you here. Here he is. So to say, government is not taking care of Western Cape is lies and is ingenious. He comes from other provinces, permanently stay there with a lot of police, your TROT, different orders of police, to make sure that we put our effort to keep this province safe. So when they say we do nothing for Western Cape, you must know they are lying. They lie. Yeah, they lie. Hambo hlale phansi Kenneth ebusuku hambo shaya igebengu go and trap there. Trap here. That's a special team. Chair, you'll have to join me and they're going to introduce you to the special team that is working Western Cape only. I'm inviting you so that you talk something you know next time. No, that's second. It's because you are not told the truth by those that know it. Secondly, in this province is the first province where we created an anti-gang unit. It's the first province launched by the President of the Republic of South Africa. Here, when we're responding to the calls of the gangs, that is an expensive exercise, but extra resources were put again. This province, we did not train last year a single police in South Africa because of COVID and this year. The last time we trained, it was 2019. We trained 5,000 police in the whole Republic of South Africa. 1,200 of them came from Western Cape. The whole country shared only 4,000. And you tell us that we don't give you resources. When almost half of the resources of the country, they come here. Hey, Nina. tell the truth. Just don't love us, don't like us, just tell the truth. Out of 30 police stations, 12 top criminal police stations come from Western Cape. On the top 20, top 30, 12 come from here. That is the reason that we want to sit down and work together. There was a call here, Chairperson. We had a special meeting in this province where the MEC, myself, the Premier, his office represented, and JP, we sat down and we created a special team to deal with extortion. You know that. We have a special team that deals with extortions in this province. And in that team, the office of the Premier is represented. JP represented. That's why JP and I, we go and walk on this. What is that famous street here? What is that? Long Street, where they drink the alcohol the whole night. That street. We walk there together. So it's not our love, it's not what we like. We are obligated to work together by the Constitution, by the laws, but by the people of South Africa who want to be treated the same and make sure that we work together with them. This is what I want to say here. I'm making a call. I'm glad, Member of Parliament, you are here. I'm glad, Chair. I want to make a call. Drop this thing of politicizing the crime. Drop it. Drop it. Drop it. Let's work together on this matter. Let's all do what we're supposed to do. You know, one crime that has gone up here in this province, one crime, is a car hijack. And this car hijack happens at Inyanga, Khayelitsha. It happens because of potholes. I'm telling you, these guys that hijack cars, they go in the nearest potholes. They stand there because they know the cars will slow down. I'm giving you your stats. If you don't join me, let's go to Khayelitsha and Nyang. I'll show you where the potholes are. I've been, definitely. You don't behave like a member of Parliament now. Or behave like a gangster yourself now. I thought I was addressing decent people are more than you. They are here. I don't know whether you smoke something. I'm not here to be shouted back by the member of Parliament. No, I can't. I listen to you. You raise the issues. I sat here quietly and I listened to you. I gave you respect. I demand that respect back. Here, I've been briefed time and again about the cameras. There are no cameras in Inyanga. There are 8. They are all not working. As I speak, I was there last month in Inyanga. These cameras, they have eyes. They don't go to Makasa. They don't go to Marikana. They don't go to Delft. They don't go to Tinun. They are only in Camps Bay. They are only in the city center. They are only, yes. If you don't believe that, come to me. I will present. That is a presentation. For instance, the police was shot and killed inside C. Khayelitsha was shot and killed. He was shot under camera. We requested the footage. The camera was not working for 6 years. Now, let's stop to come and fight over the levels of government. Let's come together. Let's national government, provincial government, local government, let's do things together and let's do things right. As we go to all other provinces, especially in the metros, the South African Police Service work together with the Metro Police. But what is happening in Western Cape? You have created a parallel structure that is not a Metro Police. You have created something called law enforcement. Nothing wrong with that. But why don't you grow the structure that work with other structures together? Why don't you put those resources together there? If you put those resources, we will be able to work better together. Gauteng, as a province, have contributed to South African police. They've given them 100 cars, BMWs. They are not saying it's a job of national government. They're saying it's a job of a government to defend the people. They've given the police 12 mobile trucks. They are not arguing who should do what. They're saying it's our job. That's a call we're making. Let's sit down and let's make sure. This thing of going there and shouting and saying who must go, who must come and all that doesn't help these people. It doesn't help these people on the ground. It doesn't give them peace. It doesn't give them security. It only knows, let's work together. Let's be united. Let's make sure that in defense of the people of South Africa, including Western Cape, including Boulevard, including Michel's Play, including Namenberg, including Kaelisha, including Kukuletu, including Langa, including Nyanga, including Camps Bay, those people must be same, including Hout Bay, including Imbizo. Let's all put together differences and put it aside and work together for the safety of the people in Western Cape. Chair, I'm writing you a letter tomorrow. I would like, maybe, let me concede that we have not worked together as supposed to get. That includes me, of not having made that call. But this call of inviting everybody, this time I've explained, did not invite the MSC. The problem, I'll give you the times and the meetings where they've been invited and not turn up. I'll give you. So, sit down after this. So, people of Western Cape, I want to thank you for the effort, especially all the structures that you have put on the ground. I fully agree it's not enough. I fully agree government will have to do more. If I talk about government, I talk about all three spheres of government. That let's work together and make sure that the safety is for all of us. It doesn't matter where we are. Secondly, on that one, we'll have to work across the government. The government will have to make life better for the people here. I'll invite you, Chair. I don't know if you have been in a place called Sanitizer here. Have you? Yes, I visited Sanitizer here. I visited COVID-19. I visited social distance places here. I don't know if you have been there, but I'll invite you. I've been working nights and days here. I'll invite you that we go to Delft or Kaelisha or Dinon. I want you with you to go in the middle of the night, two of us, and we leave security, just you and me. And don't put special lights. We'll go dark as it is, because if you go that place, if I take you to a place called Delft or at a place called Cyril Ramaphosa here, you only see not beyond your hand. It's dark. If you go to COVID-19 settlement, there are no roads, there are no houses, There is no water. There is no sanitation in a place called COVID-19 here. I don't know if you have seen a place called COVID-19 here. I've been there. I'm from there. And definitely, those people cannot be expected to live proper. So let's go. Let's hold hands. Let's walk together. Let's say to the people of Western Cape, black, brown, yellow, pink, what? You are the people here. Let's live like people and forget to tell the stories of how people live on different areas. And let's regard all people as one. Lastly, Mapoisa, all issues raised must be attended. There is this lady, Nazim, Nestle Dex. Is she still here? Leslie, I'll give you my number. Your issue is my project. I want to be reported about your issue every day. This provincial commissioner will report to me about your issue every day, and you'll phone me every day. I'll phone you every day about this matter. Because when it comes to kids, and when it comes to the safety of the kids, it's all parents must rise and say not on behalf, not in the name of our kids. And we must make sure that those things are sorted out. I listened to you very well, the first speaker here. Ms. Williams, I listened to you very well, dear. I would definitely, though I'm not going to make your issue my project like that one. That is my project. Until that one is sorted out, I'm taking it off. But I would like to hear more from your good suggestion. One major problem we're facing is the kidnapping of our kids. And then you make a suggestion how that should be handled. I think the police are doing, but out of your suggestion, more can be done. And let's work on that. That's why we come from Imbizo. That's why we come to listen. Some suggestions you make, we do implement them. So, but I would love to be more linked with you so that we see how far do we go on these matters. Therefore, it's important that we listen, but it's more important that we act. So, please, all of us, let's stop marching against one another and let's march against the crime. Let's stand up, hold hands, and march against the criminals. We're busy fighting among and between ourselves, and we're giving the criminals the space. They are happy that we spend more of our time. The last point I want to make, later if I am. The last point, besides what I've said here, that you are putting so many resources, there is something that is untrue that is always told. Let me admit, we have a problem with the number of police in the Republic of South Africa. In the year 2010, we had 193,000 police in South Africa, and we had a 50 million population. Today, we have 182,000. We have gone down, and we have 60 million South Africans. So it has gone down for everybody. But it is lies that Western Cape is the West. Let me give you the figures of the provinces and the police. Listen very well. The shortage, the understrength of the police in Western Cape is 40.8%. It's 40.8%. That is an understrength. In Eastern Cape is 43.6%. Western Cape is 40, Eastern Cape is 43. Northern Cape is 41.6%. Free State is 42.41%. KZN is 46.2%. Mpumalanga is 52%, is 52.2%. Limpopo is 49.6%. Under these worst conditions, Western Cape remains the best. Yes, it's 40% under strength. All others are 40 to 50. So we are calling, let's work together on our resources. We'll put more, we work together like other provinces which they contribute, especially Gauteng. 2 provinces give us a lot of problem in crime, Western Cape and KZN, but we'll never go around and saying which one will work better. We'll work best together with. So these figures, tell me and show me somebody that will show me the figures that are not this. The crux of the matter, the effort is for all of us. So we will work together. I put myself on the plate, Chairperson. Call me the next morning and just sit down and work on these things. And let's work together in fighting crime. Fortunately, it's a Friday, as you said. We are very aware of what people they do here. And when next time we come and call, we'll have to look at the day so that we have enough time. There were still more people who wanted to say, but because of time, we had to cut off. But we had to come and we say we'll put our best effort that the people of Western Cape do not differ from the rest of the country, and we all work together. May Almighty God bless us all. Thank you.
Thank you. I now call upon the Provincial Commissioner of Western Cape, Lieutenant General Advocate T.E. Patekile, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Program Director. Let us acknowledge the presence of our Minister, General Begicel, and Deputy Minister, Honorable Castle Matara, the Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Community Safety, Mr. Regan Allen, the councillor that were present here, the HOTs that are here, divisional commissioners, secretary for the civilian secretariat, the representative of the community, CPFs, neighborhood watches, the media, the bandmaster, and in particular our junior provincial commissioner. It is a pleasure. We are humbled in the first place to have the honor of our visit by our Minister of Police. We are grateful, sir, with your entourage. It is such a great pleasure to listen to the speakers that were here today, as invited, as I listed above. Given the fact that the time is against us and people want to go and worship, we want to thank everybody. We are humbled by your presence. And again, committing ourselves to render a responsible service and efficient service to you. But let's come again and work together, because the future of our children, the future of the country, depends on all of us. But we as the South African Police Service, we are always there with you. We walk with the neighborhood watches on the road. We work with everybody who have a common goal to prevent and combat crime in this province. Chairperson, Minister of Police, we would want again to invite you, sir, once again to come back as you promised. But by then, many of the challenges that we have looked at, we shall have to look at them. And we will have to meet after this within 14 days and work out a program of action with timelines on many of the issues that have been raised in this meeting. But the one of the daily task that I've been given, I will comply, sir. We will give the feedback on a daily basis and make a progress on that case. Lastly, because the weather is also against us, the program directors that we have, you've been a star. The councillor that welcomed us here, thank you very much, sir. We felt so welcomed. And what is also pleasing for us, we're grateful that from yourselves to say the station commissioner who's here is doing his utmost best and the team that he has. We're thankful to hear that. It is pleasing for us at least once in a lifetime that somebody says thank you to the police on the thankless job that they are doing. It actually encourages us to do more better when at least one of us is acknowledged for the good job that is done. May you continue also encouraging the ones that are there, the young ones, our policemen that are there, when they've done good. But importantly, if you are not helpful, you are not getting a service, I'm going to now say my number. Here is my number. It's 082 77 97 238. 082 77 97 238. You can find me also on WhatsApp, but I promise you, if your phone you can't find me, I'll come back to you. Thank you very much, Minister. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, General. We've come to the end of our event, and we want to thank you for your participation. Community members, can you please rise for me, please? While our dignitaries are leaving, will you remain standing, please? Thank you. Community members, we just want to make an announcement just to remain where you are. You are going to get a food parcel at the back, but for now, just remain where you are until the minister has left the field.
Only that thingy. Okay, let's go. Wat was dit? We will give it to you now. It's only that short. Yeah.
Mike.
Was dit dan jy loop dan hè, dis live. Dis live hoor. Dat alles wat jy sien doen. Kyk op. I suspected. The minister that you speak to is employed by the head of the state. He does work with the minister in terms of accounting, but when it comes to the work situation, the labor issues and all that, that happens between the national commissioner and the president. So the situation is there. As we have seen, we have all learned what the president has done, written him, giving the notice. Until that notice is known, and the response, I personally not privy and have no knowledge of the correspondence between the National Commissioner and the President, so I can't elaborate on that. On the second matter, the National Commissioner works with the team, and one of those teams, the Deputy National Commissioner, is here as we speak. That is Deputy National Commissioner Masimula, who, by the way, at any given material time, is responsible for policing. He's the head of policing. Anything that is got to do with policing in uniform, stations, your POP, your whoever, he's responsible. So it was never a one-man show that police are working individually. It has been always a team, and that team is intact. The notice did not go to the team. The notice went to the individual. We'll expect that process to be finalized by the President.
So just with regards to today, we know that the Western Cape is a headache, along with KZN. You also responded to the provincial committee member on community safety on what policing resources are in the Western Cape. But also today, again, gangsterism has been raised, gang violence has been raised. Will there be any sort of more police being deployed in this area? What is the plan?
It's exactly what I said, that sometimes the leadership here is not very truthful to give the truth. I've said since 2018, this is the only province where almost in every 3 months, alternatively, you send the new group. You have been with me, you guys, introducing this group at the hangar there at the airport. I've done that twice. It has not stopped that they come here with a semi-permanent people coming from other provinces working here in these stations. So we'll continue to work and try hard to reduce the crime situation. But we are making the call that let's work together. One thing that is not done properly here, the metropolis is the thinnest in the country, more than any other metro, where they pump a lot of resources. Here is taken outside the metro and create the parallel structure that does not necessarily work together with the South African police, the structure called law enforcement. We have been making a call. Strengthen the structures that legislatively and constitutionally exist so that we work together. So that's a call we are making. We'll continue. We talk. We came here for extortion. We have created a special team here for extortion. It's the first province where we created an anti-gang unit at a very high expense. This team is this province is one with the taxi task team. This is a team that, in a minimal way, we're looking very closely on the question of kidnapping. So we really work. And we're completely blind on the question of geography, while all our eyes are open on the question of making the people of South Africa, including Western Cape, in particular Cape Flats, safe.
All right.
I just want to last question. Sure. Minister, ahead of the local government elections, we're seeing a high number of political killings in the Western Cape areas. Are there any plans from police to tackle that specifically?
Indeed, again, those are your three provinces. Is your case at N? You saw what happened when they shot to those three women in that meeting. Is your Gauteng, more in particular Tshwane? You know, last Saturday they buried the candidate and all. Here, almost, I don't know why women here. More people that are killed in this province are women. That yesterday I had almost a 4-hour meeting with the management of the police here, and that is one thing that has been put on the table. Maybe it would be enough now to say we'll be kicking dust around that and making police to work harder and better understanding that it can't just go happen that people are killed in assassination form. Everybody must be protected. Everybody, we must find the response. But as you raise the question, the political killing, if it's not done, criminals find it easy to spread their wings in terms of criminality. So the provincial commissioner, the deputy national commissioner, yesterday we had a meeting and we said, as we come next Tuesday, we have agreed that we'll be getting almost every Tuesday, we'll be getting reports of the Western Cape and the crime situation. We believe that we put more effort, results will be better.
Colleagues in the media, thank you so
Minister
much.
is very angry today, no?
Yes, sir.
Thanks a lot, eh?
Crime and not politicizing the safety of people on the ground. So we've seen, obviously, in the run-up to the elections, there's been the calls for the evolution of the police service. We've seen the march, etc. And yet, when we listen to people on the ground here in Mitchell's Plain, they're talking about issues that are affecting them. They're talking about a lack of police vehicles. They're talking about police not being available to assist them. Neighbourhood Watch are telling us that they have to fill the gaps. Your message to the people of Mitchell's Plain today, sir?
They also talk about good police. Oh. But sizela ukuzosebenzisana nemphakathi ngoba asivumelani naloku kumemeza indaba yecrime yokwenziwa ipolitiki kubizwa abantu abathile kuthiwa yibona abazolwa necrime. Icrime ekahulumeni uhulumeni mthathu. Khona uhulumeni kazwelonke, khona uhulumeni weprovince, kukhona uhulumeni kalocal. Sithi bonke labo hulumeni abahlangane basebenzisane. Ama-province amathathu asinika icrime. I-Gauteng, i-KZN, i-Western Cape. I-Western Cape ne-KZN yila sifaka khona ama-resources amaningi kunawo wonke amanye ama-province. E-Western Cape kuze kube ngaphezulu kwaseNatal. Kusuka ngo-2018 kuze kube manje sesikhokhe imali engaphezulu ka-350 million ngenxa yokuthi kunamathimba esiwaletha la kule province afika ahlale avela kwamanye ama-province engewona awale province ngaphezu kokuthi le province inawawo amaphoyisa. Abantu bakhulumile la bathi asibayeke ngendaba yokusimemezana asisebenze ndawonye iloko esikumemezayo ukuthi wonke ama-resource awafakwe ndawonye sisizwe ama-province sisize ngokusebenzisana ndawonye engithe ku-chair we-portfolio committee sizohlangana mhlawumbe abamtsheli iqiniso ukuthi angakanani ama-resources esiwafaka la. I-anti-gang unit iqale la, i-extortion unit iqale la. Ama-students amaningi esiwatrainile ngesikhathi sitrain amaningi awala. Amaphoyisa asiwaletha kwamanye ama-province eza la e-Western Cape iwona amaningi eza la. So akulona iqiniso ukuthi asiwafaka ama-resources. Socela uhulumeni we-province la nohulumeni we-local asebenzisane nathi ukuze sikwazi ukuphendula iy'celo zabantu kunokuthi siloku siba ngumsindo sodwa.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Minister. Thank you.
We don't.
Cut! Cut!
Yes, my guy, it'll be on TV tonight. 1 minute starts my story. Did you make it? Yeah, I was like, I must sort you out, man. You know that? HD and not have, like you're standing like this on your toes. Yeah, you start to sweat, huh?